All eyes on Doge. Big runner to the moon. Whew. Doge still going up. All eyes on Doge. Still big runner to the moon. Keep going up. Going up. All eyes on Doge. Dogecoin. Upward movement in Doge. Dogecoin. Up. All eyes on Doge. Dogecoin. Upward movement in Doge. Dogecoin. 42.60. All eyes on Doge. Dogecoin.
Hey everybody, Kriss here. Welcome. It is a Monday. Doge is at 769. We're looking at 769 for Dogecoin. We're looking at 63,600 for Bitcoin. And this white line that you see here on the chart was my prediction for Bitcoin 2 months ago. So Bitcoin fell quicker than I had predicted. This big drop that we had here at the beginning of June. So Bitcoin fell quicker in the bear market than I had predicted, and it finally caught up and actually crossed over just at the end of last week. So it's about where I thought it'd be. That's all I got to say. It's about where I thought it would be. I knew the bear flag here was not going to hold, that this was indeed a bear flag. It wasn't a big rally, but this was Bitcoin up to $82,000, and it crashed all the way down to 59. It ended up the end of June going a little lower, down to 57.9, 57.8. At that time, we had Dogecoin going down to 6.95 cents. And then the next day, which was my last live stream, we were asking the question, was that the bottom? Was that the bottom of the bear market? So we are going to talk about that today, whether that was the bottom. We're going to follow up on that discussion after a nice, for those who are in the United States, 4th of July weekend. I had a great time. I hope you all did too. I'll drop here in the corner, get the charts nice and big. How's everybody doing today? Maramello says it was the bottom. It was the bottom. Maybe. Now, if you saw my July price prediction video, you know that I predicted a green month of July after the reds that we had before. So green month of July. But I think August will be bad. In September, we'll see. We'll see how that goes into September. Orbison, I believe the bottom was in. So you're buying. I'm holding. I got my cash ready. I am holding. Dude been saying buy the dip for 6 years. No, I have not. If you remember, 2 years ago, I was selling. I was selling for profit. So I don't know where you were then, but that wasn't me. Hey, Jay, how are you? All Doge, let's go. Hey, what's up? Jason, how are you? Good to see you. Ali, hello. Campo, hello. Red Bull, do you think we're going to go back down into the sixes? Well, that is the question, right? That's the question. And yeah. So far, we're only 10% from the bottom. This is just 10% where we are now from where we were on the last day of June on that dip. And 10%, a 10% drop could happen very quickly with negative news. Now, I don't know whether the negative news of Michael Saylor and Strategy selling a crap ton of Bitcoin is negative enough. Obviously, Bitcoin today had a drop this morning with that news, but then recovered right back up. So it's not a big of a deal as as you would think, I guess, because Bitcoin just traded right back up. Now, some of this recovery may have been on the backs of President Trump saying, well, yeah, I like crypto. Crypto's all right. There was a question about the Trump accounts, which are these government-funded accounts for American youth. And someone asked the question whether that could be done with Bitcoin. Now, Trump did not answer the question. He didn't say yes or no. He just said, I like crypto. And maybe that's just his instinctual response for politics, right? For politics. It's just like, yeah, that's crypto. So I don't know. Coinage stocks want to stack more Doge. So do I. I want to stack a lot more Doge. I'm being patient. And we'll see when the next dip happens. Melvin thinks we've hit the bottom also. We'll see. But that 6.95 Doge was tasty, but it was just for a very short period of time when that actually happened there. That was a short period of time, and it was early in the morning. So it was only below 7 cents for a very short period of time and came right back up. So, yeah. I also found out today that HODL was just a typo and it's become, yes. HODL was not an acronym for hold on for dear life. It was a mistype on some Reddit post. And a bunch of Redditors just took off with it as Redditors. I mean, yeah. Watch Trump surprise us with tariff announcements. Chuck, hodling and accumulating. Oh no, with the 3 cents. I don't know. You said 2 cents, I thought last time. 3 cents, 2 cents. I don't know. Trump said Biden administration was trying to destroy crypto. Well, I mean, Gary Gensler was not a fan, and that was during the Biden administration. And we seem to have the SEC and the CFTC much more crypto friendly now than what we had. And it happened to just coincide with Biden's term. Was he really trying to destroy crypto? I don't think so. He was just kind of ignoring it. So many memes outperforming Doge now. Pick a day. Oh no. Pick a day. Doge will have its day. You have to understand how these things work. Some days, some of them run. Other days, others run. It's like any given day, you can say this one's outperforming or that one's outperforming. Just pick and choose, whatever. You got a little at the 071. Pretty close. And Will says we haven't hit the bottom yet. Okay. So we're going to talk about that. Let's get into the news here. We start with Bitcoin reclaimed 63,000. Ethereum, XRP, Dogecoin stay resilient despite Saylor's major Bitcoin sale. And you're like, wait, didn't he sell the other week 32 Dogecoin or 32 Bitcoin? Yes, he did. And the market tanked like 15, 20%, like Bitcoin dropped. So this morning, he announces Strategy sold 3,588 Bitcoin. 3,588 Bitcoin for $216 million. And it's like, if he sold 3,500 Bitcoin, the market should have tanked like big time. We should have had at least a 10% pullback. Bitcoin back below 60K, Dogecoin back under 7 cents. I was expecting something like that, but that didn't happen. And it's just like, well, why? Why does Bitcoin drop almost 20% when they sold 32 Bitcoin the other week? And today, actually Bitcoin turned around and it's actually back where it was. Very strange markets, right? It's all manipulated. I mean, we can look at the exchange liquidations, and we see over 24 hours, $400 million in crypto liquidations. $400 million, and it's pretty much even between the longs and the shorts. About 200 million on the longs and 200 million on the shorts. And if you have a big dip like this, and then it comes riding right back up, like we have here, yeah, that's what's going to happen. 200 million on the downside and then 200 million back on the upside. But it's like, yeah. Well, I know he announced today. He didn't sell today. He announced today. That's what I said. I didn't say he sold today. Yeah, I know. He sold last week. But even last week, while he was selling, the Bitcoin price was going up. So the selling of Bitcoin doesn't really affect the price because the exchanges have the liquidity, or however he's selling it. That's not what causes the market to go up and down anymore. It's not the buying and selling. It's the manipulation. It's the bigger news story that's going on. So, yeah, he sold down near the bottom. So he bought the week before. So he bought up here like 64K. And then he sold down here at like 61, 60K. It's like, why do you do that? Why did you buy over 3,000 Bitcoin when the price was up here and then sell a week later when the price was down? He's not a very good trader. Oh. So I don't know. Anyway, but that's what happened. So strategy sold. And then we look at the stock price for MicroStrategy, and it went up today. I guess it fell right at the last. Yeah, it fell right at the end and ended up breaking even, $100. So it's $100 for MicroStrategy. But last week, MicroStrategy was down here at like $85 for the price for MicroStrategy stock. So it went up. And it did not tank today. And even Stretch came back up and hit $90 today, but then looks like sold off this afternoon, back down to $88. But if you zoom out on the Stretch chart, you're like, this is still, the dip that we had down to 71 was pretty bad. So nice V shape, almost a full recovery for Stretch. So anybody who was buying this Stretch stock down in the 70s, you're up quite a bit. Does that mean it's going to stay up or is it going to come down? I don't know. I think there's more confidence that the Stretch stock, the dividends are going to be funded now by Michael Saylor and Strategy selling Bitcoin to make sure that this is funded because he wants to see this thing go back up to $99. Because he makes money off this. And it's perpetual money. Meanwhile, MicroStrategy is sitting on 850 million Bitcoin, but he's at a loss, like $11 billion of a loss, because his average price is $75 or $75,000 for all of the Bitcoin he holds. It's $75,000. And the actual Bitcoin price is $63,000. So until the Bitcoin price goes back up to 75,000, and then he'll break even, at least on the price of the Bitcoin he has. But he doesn't seem to be concerned about what the price of Bitcoin is. Like, why would you buy at 64 and sell at 61? It's like, well, then, and just a week later. Doesn't make sense to me. But hey, that's his game. That's his game. So that's where we start today. And then we've got this. So here is the Bitcoin price chart. And Bitcoin actually went on a run today. People are misinterpreting what Trump said this morning, saying that Trump accounts could include Bitcoin. That's not what he said. Trump did not say that these Trump accounts for the youth of America could actually include Bitcoin. He didn't say that. He said he was a big fan of crypto, but he didn't answer the question on whether these accounts could actually hold Bitcoin. He's being a politician. It's politics. But I guess it was enough to turn the Bitcoin price around, and it went back up. So we had that. Meanwhile, Ben Cowan, he's saying, look, July's just like 2018. Bitcoin is off to a good start in July of 2026. Usually Bitcoin is strong in July, and then the weakness shows back up in August, September timeframe. So when I did my Dogecoin price prediction video, I said, and you guys all watched that video, right? You all saw that video. July would be green. It'd be a green month. And so far, it's up 6.9%. In just 6 days, it's up 6.9%. So that's playing out, again, as Kriss predicted. Kriss is correct again. Will this hold? It's a long month. It's a long month ahead. So we still have over 3 weeks to go in the month of July. Don't know what's going to happen, obviously, but it's green. So that's good. Much like the last bear market in 2022, where we had a green July following red Mays and Junes. So that's what I expected. That's what we have for Dogecoin. And so it's following the 4-year cycle still, at least for the bear markets. The bull markets, I have a different theory about Dogecoin, which I've talked about many times, but the bear markets still seem to be 4-year cycles. So going back to the question of Dogecoin and whether this was the bottom. And so I've gone down to the weekly chart here, and we're looking at the bottom of Dogecoin. And this is in June. So Dogecoin bottomed in June, 6.95 cents in 2026. And we scroll back and we go back to 2022 and we see, yes, the same thing happened in 2022, where Dogecoin bottomed at 4.95 cents then, and that was in June. Now, it wasn't just Dogecoin. We can look at Ethereum, and we can see Ethereum bottomed also in June 2022 at right around $1,000. So Ethereum also had its bottom of the bear market, last bear market in June. It had some dips later on, like when Bitcoin dipped in November, Ethereum dipped in November, but it did not go lower than its June low. So in 2022, again, last bear market for alts, not all the alts, but for a lot of alts, we saw the bottom in June, not November. Of course, in Bitcoin, we had the capitulation in November at the FTX crash. And that's when Bitcoin went down to $15,600, which was lower than Bitcoin's June low, which was about $17,600. So it was like $2,000 lower. That was bad. But we can look at some other altcoins like Litecoin. Litecoin bottomed in June as well in 2022 at $41. And look where it is now. Now it's $45. Litecoin's almost back to the low that we had in 2022. And in fact, I think last month it actually hit the 2022 low for Litecoin. But we can also look at XRP. XRP hit its low in the 2022 bear market in June when it dropped down to 28 cents. Right there in June 2022. So there's the theory out there that for alts, the bottom is in. And so this is a follow-up from the live stream I did last Wednesday, where we were asking the question, was the bottom in? And so as I was poking around and looking at things, I was like, last bear market, June was the bottom. And then the other dips that we had in July and in August, and then into November of 2022, those alts did not go lower than the June dip. So if any of you got any 6.99 cent Dogecoin at the end of June, that was a good buy. That was a good buy. That's what it's looking like right now. So Red Bull's initial question is, are we going to see the sixes again? I have my yellow box down here. So here's my yellow box. I'll go to the daily. We'll zoom in on that. So there's my yellow box right down here, which is actually lower than 7 cents. And this is my buy zone of where Kriss is going to be buying a crap ton of Dogecoin. Are we going to get back down there? I don't know. But that is my plan right now. In the long run, if Dogecoin does this cycle just what it did last cycle, buying Dogecoin in the 7s is going to be fine. If it goes to 35 cents, you still get a 4x return. I know some of you want 10x, and 4x isn't enough. Over a couple of years, a 4x return on any investment is pretty damn good. That's pretty damn good. But I know you're seeing like Ansem and you're seeing like these other things like taking off, and it's like you want that. And if you want Dogecoin to do that, Dogecoin has the possibility of doing something like that. But as Elon says, don't bet the farm on it. Don't bet the farm on it. But that's how I played it last year. I was buying Doge in the 6s. I bought some in the 7s. I even got some in the 5s, 5.8, 5.75 cent Dogecoin last cycle. I sold some at 42 and the rest I sold in the 30s. And that was a crap ton of money that I profited. So, yeah, I know, Laurel. We want 1,000x. Yeah. Forget 4x or 10x. We want 1,000x. Well, you should have bought Ansem when it launched and just held it. And you'd get your 1,000x return. Stupid Solana pump meme token. You never know, like, which is the one that's going to take off. You never know. That's why it's like gambling when it goes to those, because 99 out of 100 of them are going to be rug pulls. So to get that one that actually does take off like Ansem, It's a needle in the haystack kind of thing. It just like the chances of it happening. Ugh. So that's what's going on. Something is brewing with Dogecoin, says top analyst. And I wish I could say I was the top analyst, but I'm not. I'm not called a top analyst. I'm a crypto analyst, but I'm not a top analyst. Who's the top analyst? Oh, it's Ali. Ali gets to be called a top analyst. And he's talking about the Dogecoin network activity. We have a bunch of active addresses, but that was just at the last week of June, and it was network activity. And the network activity, it going up, was actually not a good thing because the price was going down. Those were people selling. Maybe some buying as well, but the price did go down. So there were more sellers than buyers. As Dogecoin's price capitulated from 8.5 cents all the way down to 6.95 cents in the last week and a half of June. Not good. So Ali say the network activity is a good thing. I'm like, was it? Was it really a good thing? There's a lot of people selling. There's a lot of selling going on. I guess there was a lot of buying too, though, and people were scooping up cheap Doge, especially on June 30th. And of course, his TD sequential indicator points to buying Dogecoin, which of course, Dogecoin drops below 7 cents. That's going to be a buy signal. So good for Ali. Awesome. Great. Meanwhile, Dogecoin near 7.7 cents. And yeah, it's 7.68 right now. So it's right at that 7.7 cent thing. Whales accumulate more tokens. Whale wallets are adding Doge, while retail trading cools across the derivatives markets. Because we see most everything is up a little bit from the June lows. Even ADA, Cardano recovered a little bit and then turned around and dropped. But yeah, Doge traders hold back, volume slips. And of course, it was July 4th weekend. It was quiet. And we knew that. We knew that was going to be coming up for July. The beginning of July is always slow or slowest. And it doesn't really speed up in July. Unless there's some like big news that causes like Dogecoin to spike, then its volume will tick up, but not really. Doge OS, still a lot of chatter about the beta users, and we just want to know when's it going to be released. When is Doge OS really going to be released? We'd like to know that. Developers continue to work on the proposed Doge OS upgrade. So we're waiting. Meanwhile, regulation also remains in focus. The proposed U.S. Clarity Act, is it going to pass in July? They have up until like the first week of August before Congress goes on holiday for the rest of August. They don't come back till after Labor Day. So that's kind of the next so-called deadline for this vote. If it's going to happen this summer at all, it's got to be before the second week of August, because then they all go on holiday and they're all gone for the month of August. Is crypto regulation going to be the big thing? I don't know, Jason. I'm like, I don't know if that's going to be a big thing. I mean, right now, again, my theory is the price is more about what's happening with liquidations and the market makers being pretty much in control of the crypto market. I mean, how else can you explain the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 going to all-time highs and crypto is down at near lows? It was certainly lows for the last 4 years in a bear market. How do you explain that? I don't have a reason other than this. And it's all of the leverage trading that the exchanges don't want to lose out on the big leverage trades. So for me, that's what's really moving the market, is more this. I mean, $400 million is not peanuts. $400 million of trades liquidated in the past 24 hours. So that's what's going on. There is a GitHub proposal, just letting you know. It's not going to pass. I don't think the miners and all the node operators are going to accept this. But there is a call for block rewards to fall from 10,000 Doge to 1,000 Doge. That would change the annual Doge supply growth from 5 billion coins a year down to 500 million new coins a year. I don't think the miners are going to vote for that. But you never know. You never know how these things work. This is crypto. Dogecoin is open source. Anybody can promote, suggest a change to the fundamental structure of how Dogecoin works. Anybody can. You could do that if you wanted. You got to do a little research, kind of understand how it works, and get enough people to support it, and then go to GitHub, and that's how it works. So somebody is honestly looking at reducing the block rewards from 10,000 Doge to 1,000 Doge. That's quite a difference. They're not saying hard cap it, because eventually that gets rid of the mining. So this keeps the mining going. But it's like a 90% reduction in the amount of Dogecoin miners get when they solve the mathematical equation every minute with our mining rigs and get awarded new Dogecoin. So kind of interesting. Again, just put that out there. Would that increase the speed? I don't think so. I don't think that really has anything to do with speed, because it's still 1 minute it's still 1 minute as a proof of work cryptocurrency. Every minute, all of the transactions get validated on the blockchain. So it's still 1 minute. It's just the reward or the award of the Doge, which is changed from 10,000 to 1,000. So yeah. So what's going to happen next? Dogecoin remains near 7.7 cents. Whales are increasing their holdings. Retail trading activity is slowed. Is it going to pick up in the month of July? I don't think it's going to be that much. Derivatives volumes have weakened. That's because a lot of leverage traders are just continue to get pounded. The next move depends on key support and resistance levels. Of course, we keep our eyes on those. Doge OS progress, Clarity Act developments. So we will be following all of that throughout the summer. I will still be here. I know it's a bear market. I get it. But we will continue to follow what's going on. 7.7 cent Dogecoin. Now we have a lot of people doing a little fractals, right? Moonshow says Doge just swept the lows. Now it's pushing back into a multi-year downtrend. However, you break the trend line, things get interesting. We get a breakout above 14, 15 cents. If this fractal plays through, which is just the same as this, as early 2024, I think this is what's going to happen, but not this summer. Too soon. To me, it's too soon for this kind of fractal to happen. This is more what I'm expecting next year or 2028, not summer of 2026. I don't think that's happening. But I get it, right? You can look in the past and you can see that price breaks down, which it did in the summer of 2023. Price did break back down, and you were able to scoop up Doge right around 6 cents in the summer of 2023. The fall had a little mini run, and then we had a big run in the spring of 2024. And that fractal is very interesting. All the memes were taken off then. Pepe was going huge, and even Sheeb was going. I mean, it's like that was a meme coin rally right there. Could that happen again? Sure, that could. But be careful, again, what meme coin you're following. As I posted on X today, Bonk had over $20 million in tokens drained from its treasury today. Bonk. So if you're a Bonk holder, yeah, not a good day today. Let's zoom in a little more to the 2-hour chart, and you'll see on Dogecoin, we had the fallback this morning in the news of Sailor and Strategy selling, but then crypto recovered right back up. Nice V shape. But you go to Bonk and you're like, oh, well, Bonk is trying to climb back now. Look at that. But that was a 10% drop. It's still down 9.5% on the day. I guess if you measure it all the way from the very top to the very bottom of the drop, yeah, you'll get about 13, 14% on the Bonk drop. But that's a lot of tokens that end up getting drained. Dogecoin doesn't work that way. So this isn't a Dogecoin thing. Dogecoin is a proof of work cryptocurrency, and transactions are validated, and this can't happen with Dogecoin. So sorry to hear that the Bonk DAO and whatever happened there. But you can expect this kind of thing to happen on crypto tokens, especially when the owners, the developers, the founder, whatever they are, they own a crap ton of them. If they don't have the right security in place, and that can happen to crypto tokens. So Bonk was the one today. Looks like with the recovery, that was probably a pretty good buying opportunity for Bonk if you were looking to buy some Bonk. So that's just another meme token. We don't know which meme tokens are going to do the best this next bull cycle. Pepe, Floki, who knows? Cryptolica says, I wish I had bought when I had the chance. Well, you've got a chance now. Dogecoin in the 7s. The summer of 2026. This is on a this is logarithmic scale, so it's based on percentages here. But we're looking at an RSI that's at an all-time low. An all-time low on the RSI. This is on the monthly. I think it's a monthly chart. So yeah, that's what we have. That's what we have on the dip. So now with the Dogecoin recovery back to 769, I'm expecting more. Again, that's a monthly RSI low that was hit for June. July, it's ticking up slightly, but we still have a long summer to go. And there are many that are expecting, like what Bitcoin did in 2022, to have a later capitulation, final like flush out based on some black swan event that may come in October. Personally, I'm not waiting for that. I'll be buying this summer. But yeah. So that's what's going on. We're watching the liquidations continue to happen. And again, this is what's driving the market. A lot of them, a lot of crypto liquidations are actually being stock market based. So kind of interesting. We go to SpaceX, and SpaceX had quite the fall down to 155 this afternoon. But then it traded up at the end of the day into 160. So kind of interesting, end of the day, again, it was taking out shorts. So SpaceX is actually the stock is trading more like a meme coin. Taking out the longs and then taking out the shorts. Manipulation, yeah, probably. Tokenized stocks. And you see here, you can see that SpaceX is one of the tokenized. SpaceX is getting liquidated. People are able to buy and sell leverage trades on stocks through Hyperliquid. And then I guess Coinbase is starting to do it now. And who knows what else? I'm not touching that. I'm not touching liquidations. So, all right, gang, time for some Q&A. What's going on? The bears got to hibernate at some point. There's still a lot of selling and shorting going on in the market. And every time there's a spike up in price, they're taking out shorts. But there's still heavy shorting of crypto because of the 4-year cycle. Do you have a couple altcoins that you feel the most confident in? I am not confident in any crypto because it's all risky. So if you're like looking for a sure thing, Thor, be careful. First of all, be careful. We're in some different times now. A lot of money has been leaving crypto, going into stocks, chasing the AI and the tech, chip trade, like all of that. And I think that's going to continue to go on for a while. Does that money rotate back into crypto? And where's all the new money going to come from? That's the question. How are crypto prices going to move in the next bull market, the bull cycle that we all expect to happen? Where's all that money going to come from? That's the challenge. Personally, I'm going to be mostly in Dogecoin, but I'm going to buy some others. I already have some. I've already got some Pepe. I already have Doge. I got a bunch of Doge. I'm also probably going to buy some SWI, but I know they have token unlocks too. And the token unlocks put a lot of pressure on the price, downward pressure on the price every time there are the unlocks, because they go to the marketing and then they go to the board or the foundation or whatever. And that's just a lot more tokens that are being added to the supply. And a lot of others do that as well. I'm not going to buy 25 cryptos this cycle. I'm not doing that. I did that last cycle. It was too much to manage, like everything that was going on for me. But I already have that. And I already have Sol. I already have like 300 Solana tokens. And so I have Solana staked. So I'm earning more Solana tokens all the time with that. So I'm doing that because Solana is still one of the most used blockchains out there. So yeah. And eventually I'm going to rotate Doge into or into Bitcoin. I'm going to rotate Doge into Bitcoin. Again, this goes back to my my theory of the Doge Bitcoin trading pair, which is now in my white circle, right at 12. It hit 12 today. I just want the price to be lower so I can get more Dogecoin. But the Doge BTC trading pair has gone right down into the white circle that Kriss predicted. That happened. And that's where it is right now. Could it go lower? We had one wick lower back here on June 30th. When Dogecoin hit 6.95 cents, the Doge BTC trading pair went to its cycle low at like 11.8. So, yeah. So that's right there, right where I want it to be. I just wanted to get a lower price on the Dogecoin I buy. You sold all your Doge for MicroStrategy last week, and you're up almost 20%. And a lot of people are doing that. A lot of people are selling crypto at lows, taking losses, but putting it into stocks. So yeah, that is happening. So here's your MicroStrategy chart here. And there's the gain. Now, over that same time, Dogecoin is up too. Like if you look at this gain from June 30th for MicroStrategy, you can't compare 20% to 0 because Dogecoin went up 10%. So you got an extra 10% out of that deal. The RSI is not as reliable to predict the bottom this cycle because the top occurred much earlier than the previous. Yes, that's sort of more the schedule and the timing of it. Exactly. So, and you could end up with a lower price with a higher RSI and have the bullish divergence to sort of play out the trend where you get a higher RSI with a lower price as a capitulation event. That's the bullish divergence, and then the price takes off from there. So that could happen. A lot of crypto going into Pokemon cards, sports cards. I don't really know if crypto money is going into it. I mean, people's money is going to it. So instead of going into crypto, it's going into this stuff. A lot more is going into Polymarket and Kalshi, especially with the World Cup right now. Heavy betting. Oh, I'm sorry. It's not betting. if you're using Polymarket. It's they're prediction markets, right? You're predicting stuff. But that's where a lot of money's going. So there's a lot more competition for your gambling dollars than what we had 4 years ago. We were trying to figure out when the market was going to turn back around and go back into a bull market. So yeah. Allura. I don't know what Allura is, Maramello. I don't know what it is. What's Allura? Allura. It's on Coinbase. Allura is on Coinbase. It's 40 cents. It dropped down on the 1st of July to 22 cents. Interesting. It just started trading last year on Coinbase. And it basically did a cup and handle here. Whatever this thing was, it did a cup and handle. Interesting. Allura. So what does this do, Maramello? What does Allura do? I'll have to research it. But if, yeah, you bought it at 5 cents earlier this year, and now it's at 40 cents, that's pretty good. I just didn't know what this was. Never heard of it. I have a couple flyers that I've bought. One of them is Dual. It's ranked like 4,000. So I got a bunch of Dual tokens. Is it going to take off? I don't know. Oh, and Low Roller, I bought some Spell tokens too. You weren't here last week. I'm back. I'm back on a swing trade on Spell. I'm on a swing trade on Spell. So I picked them up right over here at 88. There was one little spike that happened over the weekend where it went up to like 9.3 and back down. I'm waiting for the big one. But yeah, I'm going to do a spell token swing trade again. Spell token. We'll see. We'll see. SpaceX is highly overvalued. Yes. And the August 11th dilution is going to be huge. Absolutely. 20% dilution on August 11th. So I'm not buying SpaceX now. How do I feel about the basketball trade? Not great. Not great. Paul George had a good playoffs for Philadelphia. I'll give him that. And he's a good player. 36 years old, right? End of his career. Personally, I think Tatum wanted the Celtics management to trade Brown. There's a lot of talk about the salary cap, the aprons, two players with max contracts, et cetera, and the new ownership didn't want to have two players on max contracts. So I get that. So over 3 years, the ownership saves $100 million, 140. I mean, there's some huge number that they save over 3 years through this deal. So that's big. But it's on the money side. It has nothing to do with the players. There's still rumors that they may flip Paul George to another team like the New Orleans Pelicans. I don't know if they can do that. I'm the Pokemon boss, and I'm not buying Pokemon cards. It's overinflated. So you're buying Doge. There you go, Orbison. Yeah. Having a lot of tokens is crazy. I just can't. I had 20. I might have been up to like 27 or 28 at one time. I'm just like, it was, my spreadsheets were just huge. Just so many. I'm not doing that this time. Am I going to miss out on gains? Sure. You know, you can't own everything. I'm not going to get everything. I don't know what's going to go up more or less. I hope the whole market goes up, and I hope everybody gets rich on whatever you have. That's what I hope for. I just don't know where all the money's going to come from. This cycle, I don't know where all the money is going to come from. Last cycle, we had the tail end of COVID and coming out of COVID. But this time, I don't think LeBron's coming to bust. There's a lot of talk about Philadelphia, Miami, back to Cleveland. But he said he would take a pay cut to be able to fit in somewhere. But Boston? Stephen A. Smith said 3 starters. Starter White can't win NBA championship. Oh, whatever. I don't play the race card. But if he does it, he gets paid to say that stuff, whatever. Stickman. There's the question right there. There's the question. When Doge dollar. You know, as long as that thing is still out there, it's just going to continue. So we will just do it. It's a native token. Allo is used for network staking, paying for AI-driven insights, and rewarding contributors. Jose Mon says it's basically another AI-themed Ponzi. Pretty much. A decentralized, self-improving AI network that coordinates thousands of machine learning models. Yeah, but what does the token do? Why does it have a token? For staking? Network staking? Rewarding contributors? I don't know. It doesn't seem to me like that's going to be used a lot. And it's not going to be the usage of the token that makes the price go up. It's going to be hype, which obviously it just had because it did a full cup and handle. Interesting. Interesting. But I'll take a look at it. I'll consider it. Bronny will be unemployed. Yeah, probably. What is your prediction for Doge during the 27-29 bull market? Great question, Shafia Ahmad. Great question. I will be beginning to start exploring that question in the fall. Again, we don't know how the summer and how the bear market is going to play out. And any kind of thoughts about the next bull market is just guessing at this point. So I'm not ready to quite jump into that yet for the next bull market. But we'll get there on this channel. We will do that. And we will look at all of that. I did have a video and a post that I did look at my 3.5-year cycle. So this was on my X account. If you go to my profile on my X account, and you scroll down quite a bit. you'll see my 3.5-year Dogecoin prediction, which is this right here. I did it on June 23rd. So there's a big, I don't want to boost the post. There's a big thing out here, 2028. I've got a big square. So in that range somewhere, I'm predicting Doge in the spring of 2028. So you can look at that. And we did a whole live stream based on that as well. But it's posted on X, on my X account. If you don't follow me on X, I am at Kriss right here on X. So give me a follow. Keep up with the latest news. Doing a lot of World Cup stuff too. Enjoying the World Cup this year. Girlfriend and I had a fun weekend. Went to the drone show and fireworks. So, yeah, a lot of good stuff going on here in the summer of 2026, despite the bear market. But most of you guys get it, right? You're here because you want to accumulate and you want to buy at the lowest price. Most of you are here with that in mind. And that is my goal as well, is trying to get the cheapest Doge possible. And was that it back here on 30th? Was it 6.95 cents? I don't know yet. Too soon to tell. But I have it marked on my chart. Again, we're only 10% above that. So the fireworks were great. Yeah, fireworks on the beach. The fireworks were going over there were a lot of people with boats, a bunch of boats out there in the water. Beautiful night, just a slight little breeze. And the drone show, it was awesome. We had a great time. We had a great time. People are mad. Yeah, I posted about that as well, Tim. And my post was that I didn't think he should have gotten a red card in the first place. But the VAR, right, he looked at it. He wasn't supposed to look at it in slow motion, but he looked at it. And Balogun hit him. I think it should have been a yellow. But the red card, the penalty is severe. Not only do you miss the rest of the game, but then you miss the next game too. And I know that's how soccer has been. That's the rule. But FIFA does have an opportunity to review it. And all Trump was trying to do was to get his friend, the head of FIFA, just take another look. There are images of Lionel Messi like doing the same thing to somebody else's heel with his cleats. He didn't get a red card. You get others like Cristiano Ronaldo. Sorry, Portugal lost, Manuel. But Ronaldo, in the last game, the last World Cup qualifying game, I guess he got a red card. But then he didn't have to sit out the first World Cup game. There was something going. I don't know what that was. I mean, it's like all these rules. Just, how's it going, DB? The party was over the weekend here in the USA. A nice 3-day weekend of just partying. So yeah, so we did a lot. We weren't really partying, but we were attending festivities, having nice meals. It was a lot of fun. So we had a great weekend. This cycle is going to be tough. I can't see where all the money's going to come from. Well, that's where I am too. I think all of these so-called predictions, Bitcoin to $1 million. It's like, how on earth is Bitcoin going to get to $1 million a coin? Where does all the money come from? Exactly. Probably won't see the gains we saw in 2021 across crypto with the number of cryptos now compared to then. And that's what I was saying about Dogecoin last cycle, because people were complaining, oh, Dogecoin only got to 48 cents. Dogecoin couldn't even get to its previous all-time high. And it's because there's so many damn cryptos now. Especially on the meme side. Dogecoin doesn't have anywhere near the competition, or didn't have anywhere near the competition back in 2021. So much more money going into like all these other alt memes. Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, Dogecoin theoretically might not ever hit 73 cents again. That might be the all-time high. And it never gets there again. You got to be ready for that. That could happen. Where's all the money going to come from? It took 3 to 4 years to bottom out on the monthly. That's why I think we didn't have an alt season. It's bottomed out now. Yeah, we bottomed. Every 4 years, we bottom. We had a very abbreviated alt season last cycle. Again, just because there wasn't as much money. And a lot of the big money was going into Bitcoin. So the Bitcoin dominance stayed relatively high, and we didn't have a full-blown alt season. It didn't happen. So Portugal 0, Spain 1, last minutes. Wow. I'll be watching USA tonight. Some good food, a drink here and there, fireworks, warm weather. Yeah. It was nice. We had a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm not doing sports cards, not doing any of that. My money's going into stocks and crypto. That's it. Not buying all that stuff. You're talking about the total 3? Yeah. So that's just alts outside of the top 10, right? So Doge isn't even in there on the alt 3. So I don't even look at alt 3 or total 3, whatever it is, because Doge isn't in there. So I don't care about it. That's all the other alts. Oh, we're getting some movement. Got the pinger going off. Bitcoin's going up. Taking out shorts. It's happening right now. Having some movement. Look at that. I wonder what just happened. Why all this is spiking up? But look at Bitcoin go. Just zoomed above 64K. Boom. Taking out them shorts. Yeah. Love the bear market. This is the time to stay strong. Buy what you like at cheap prices. And you're going to get little runs like this. It's going to happen. Price is going to spike up. but it's a long summer. And I predicted, for those that hadn't heard, I predicted that crypto would go up in July. Predicted a green month for Bitcoin, for Dogecoin. So yeah, I just got a notification on Solana too. Yep, Solana spiking up. Yeah, just had a big spike in crypto. Is this going to last? Is this going to continue going up? Probably not. Probably not. Is Dogecoin going to get to 8 cents here, DB? I don't know how much momentum this little run has. Don't know. You're going to hit 25 diamonds tonight? Get more free crow? Yeah, I hit 25 last week, and I got 7.8 crow on a silver. I got 7.8. That was much better than like the 1.3 I got on the bronze last time. But 7.8. It's like, okay, I'll take 7.8 crow. Crow goes to $1. I'm happy. Oh no. Oh no. Your name is so appropriate. Oh no. You don't know what you're talking about. The whole Doge to dead thing is just lame. Lame. Oh. So will we see higher than 6? Will we see higher than 6 before end of the year? I don't know what you're asking. It's at 7.8 now. It's higher than 6. You're talking about Dogecoin, right? Only with the green, I like the sound of the pinger, not the red. You like to hear the longs get liquidated, just the shorts. I get it. All right. Well, that was a nice little flurry of liquidations right there. Bitcoin hasn't been at this price since June 22nd. Yeah, since June 22nd. 13 days. So that's 2 weeks worth of shorts that were still open that just got liquidated. Yeah, well, oh yeah. Now, Dogecoin may still dip into the 6s. Dogecoin may still dip into the 6s. That's still a thing. That's still out there. Yeah. The oh no thing, Doge is dead, is just lame and dumb. It's a top 10 crypto still. Whatever, oh no. You don't know shit, but whatever. Crybabies are here. You know it's time to buy when they start appearing. Get it. Hey, Josh. Yeah, if you follow me on X, you can see all my pics. We had fun. Me and my new girl, we had fun. We previously drew 2 resistance lines, but I've started to have doubts. Resistance lines. Yeah, I don't have any big resistance lines. Right now, I'm just tracking, 7 cents and 8 cents because we're trading in that range between 7 and 8. So, I mean, that is 8 cents is resistance right now. Relatively short term from a month ago, but that is resistance. It was support, became resistance here on the 23rd of June. 8 cents. Ignore the noise. Right, Teresa? I have an open 250. 200. Who's giving you 250x? If you open that at 7 cents, dude, this might be a good time to just take the profit. You think we'll see 13 cents before the end of September? If Dogecoin gets its own catalyst, something big happens specifically for Doge, Doge could do it. But if it's just following Bitcoin and the rest of the market, it's not going to 13 cents. Whatever, oh no, whatever. Maybe. Maybe. So why are you even here then? Go to a sheep channel. Oh no. Go to that guy's sheep channel and follow him. If you're so negative about Doge, what are you even doing here? Because it's just dumb and lame, the things you're saying. You don't get it. Go to that guy's sheep channel and follow him. You think sheep's better than Doge? Then go there. No way. Okay. Thank God. That's exactly the response I wanted to see. No way. Good. I know, right? I knew that would get you one way or the other. Doge to 9 cents before the end of July. We could see that. We could see Doge in the 8s. Yeah. And I talked about that in my I talked about that in my July price prediction, that we could see that, and that we would end up in the green for the month of July, which we looked at the monthly returns, and here's Doge right here, up 7.6% already for the month of July. So green month of July, and then we'll see about August. In 2022, we had a green month of July, but then Doge went down 10% in August. 10% in August. Have I bought any more? I have not yet. My July buy hasn't happened yet, which I talked about that in my July price prediction video too, that I need to see a significant dip sometime in July for me to make a July purchase. And that's not happening now. It's going the other way right now. I rock. Thank you. Thanks. My target price by October. Doge will not be 16 cents. Doge will still be down. Below 10 cents probably. Still in October. Again, unless there's a particular catalyst specifically for Doge, we're not going to see Doge over 10 cents, I don't think. Even into October. Because Bitcoin isn't going to go up and double in price. And Doge would just follow Bitcoin. So you'd have Bitcoin back up over 100K. And nobody's predicting Bitcoin over 100K. Bitcoin is just half of the crypto market. So as Bitcoin goes, so goes most of the crypto market. Bitcoin has a green day. Most of the crypto market has a green day. All kinds of, everything pretty much follows Bitcoin. Again, unless there's specific news or specific something about a particular coin or token. Otherwise, it's just going to follow Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin's going to tank down to 30K and cut its price in half, most alts will also cut its price in half. And our friend Oh No will see Dogecoin down, dipping below 4 cents, and he'll get his 3.9 cent Doge or whatever, right? If Bitcoin goes to 30K, nobody's predicting Bitcoin to 30K except Peter Schiff. I heard him say 25K on Bitcoin. But yet we have this news today, that Strategy sold 3,500 Bitcoin. So this announcement was made today. Yes, they did the selling last week. But Bitcoin last week was going up while all that Bitcoin was selling. The price went up. Announced it this morning, and the price tanked from 62,800 to 61,200. But then it recovered back up and went higher. So just the news of Saylor and Strategy selling so much Bitcoin wasn't enough to tank Bitcoin 10%. So Michael Saylor. I have no idea. It's just and I get it. He wants this stretch. He wants this stretch stock to succeed, because the more the stretch stock succeeds, the more money his company makes. So he wants that to succeed. And so if now, remember the guy who said, never sell your Bitcoin? Now he's selling Bitcoin. And the market has all come to accept that now. And all of the crap that he said in years past is all bullshit. It's all bullshit. Everything he said, you look at any of his past videos from a year ago or more, everything Michael Saylor said is a load of crap, because he turned. Yes, Michael Saylor, exactly. Doge is my number one, Honda for Life says. I do have a lot of SHIB, but I wish I would have put it all, when I put in SHIB, into Doge. Yeah, I do not know what the success of SHIB is going to be in the future. I think so many people have figured out that they're a load of crap, because everything they've promised either hasn't happened, or when they do come out with something, it's garbage. Shibarium, the SHIB wallet, the swap thing, which is really just between SHIB and Bone and Treat and whatever. It's all a load of crap. But people see what SHIB did last cycle, and they say, oh, we can make a bunch of money on SHIB. Maybe, I don't know. Not a project I'm going to support. If Doge goes to 4 cents, I'll buy more. I would be too. Yeah, we talked about Portugal out. That must have been some game, Portugal, Spain. Countries right next to each other, playing each other in the World Cup. Can't wait to see the highlights and see how Spain scored. Very exciting game. One score the whole game. But that's soccer. We'll see tonight's game. USA and Belgium playing tonight. World Cup has been fun. The games last night, England and Mexico, wow. So much emotion. That was a crazy game. And then earlier in the day, it was Norway. Norway beating Brazil. It's like crazy. I'm just like, years past, that would never happen. Yeah, great match last night. Great match. And I don't really follow soccer that closely. I watch most World Cups. I mean, it was in Qatar 4 years ago, so the games were on in the middle of the night. So I watched just some of the highlights. But yeah, this year, the games are awesome. I feel the same way about Bonk. A crap ton of Bonk needs to do double. Yeah, tough life or tough today, Rolling Rob, for Bonk. Tough day today. But we looked at it earlier and it seemed to be recovering from the mess. But yeah, it went down 14, 15% on that immediate drop. But it's recovering. It's recovering for Bonk. But yeah, whenever you have an exploit like that, $20 million of tokens get stolen. That's not good. Not good. Doge could never do that. Mexico had so many almost goals. Well, yeah, England was down to 10 players, packed it in defensively, and they rode it out. And Mexico had so many chances. But the England defense held. So, yeah, USA. Man United is a religion for me. Yeah, you must be enjoying like seeing players play on the World Cup stage. I don't know what teams they all play for. They say every once in a while during the World Cup matches, they'll say, like, this person is Newcastle and this person is this or that. And it's just like, that doesn't mean anything to me because I don't know those teams. Thank you. Comes in packages. Appreciate it. Support the channel. Hit the like button. Subscribe, as always. The fun will come back. The prices are going to come back. I mean, we're just getting through the summer of the bear market, as predicted. All these prices that we have now, this is exactly what I predicted. You look at my stuff 6, 7, 8 months ago, when the previous bull market was finally done, this summer is playing out exactly as I thought. So, and people were asking me then, oh, Chris, are you going to keep live streaming like through the bear market? I said, yeah, I'll be here. I've cut it down 3 days a week. Just because I'd just be repeating myself if I just did every day. So. Americans don't like soccer. They like American football. Yep. And when it comes this fall and American football starts up, we'll be like, World Cup? What was that? Soccer? I don't even know what that is. It'll be forgotten. Will Dogecoin top 8 cents? I wish I had a crystal ball. I wish I could tell you. It could. It could. Exactly as I predicted. Right. I predicted Dogecoin bottom would be 6.7 cents. So far, it's hit 6.95. That's pretty close. It's better than most people were predicting. Yep. And the price will come back up eventually. And the cycles will continue. Again, I don't know where all the money is going to come from. And we're probably not going to have a big bull market like 2021 again, because that was a special time. But people forget that. And then I hear them complain, oh, Dogecoin can't even go hit its last all-time high. Yep. And you've heard me talk about how overhyped and overbought Dogecoin was in 2021. And there's a good chance Dogecoin will never, ever, ever get to 73 cents again. There's a good chance of that. And you have to be ready for that. And I'm the only one saying that. Everyone else is like $5 Dogecoin. I'm just like, please. $5 Doge. That's ridiculous. Hashtag blame Kriss was trying to kill Mark. Hashtag blame Kriss. Exactly. Oh. And the Clarity Act, and people, oh, the Clarity Act is going to be so great for crypto. Is it? Is it really? I think the more regulation crypto has, the less likely we're going to see 10x returns. It's just not going to be as volatile anymore. And you have to be ready for that. But people don't want to talk about that. They just want to talk about their 10x, 100x returns. I try and keep it real here, and I get shit on, and I'm just like, I'm just being honest. Thank you, Honda. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Ruben thinks 10-cent Doge and then back down. It's going to be tough getting over 8. And we just had a little run here up to 783, and that got rejected as Bitcoin got up to 64.6 and is now down to 64.2. So, yeah. Rod says, I hope it goes to 6 cents. Then I'm going all in. Been buying dips around this price range. Not a bad strategy. Mark, my Doge finally went into the red. DCA time. Yeah, bring that average down, even if it's a little bit. Yeah, my average is in the 8s on the new stuff that I bought in June. Because I bought too early in June. Maybe 9. That's what I think. Maybe 9. Hey, Matt, how are you? If Dogecoin doesn't even get up to 73 cents again, then how are we going to have the dollar Dogecoin? Yep. It may not happen. Dog with hat went up to $4. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy what can happen on a meme? I probably need to find a whiff chart that isn't Binance. Yeah, we'll just do the crypto one. Yep, there's the double top. $4.80, double top in 2024. That was the craziness of memes. If you think dog with hat is going to go back up to $4, I say you're crazy. Crazy, crazy. How much Doge I have now? I have about 600,000 Doge. I had 400,000 left over from last cycle. and I bought 200 more. So I bought 600. My next purchase is going to be about 1 million Doge. And I probably want to get at least another 1.4 million and have about like a 3 million. That's what I'm planning on having. It's like 3 million Doge. And some of that is going to get flipped over into Bitcoin. That's my plan. We can have a 50-cent Dogecoin. You know, Mark, 50 cents was my next, back in December 2024, 50 cents was my next price where I was going to take a slice of profits. And it got to 48. And I was like, all right, almost 50, ready to go. Had a limit order set. And it never hit. It never hit. I don't know. Don't know how high Doge is going to go this cycle. That 48 cents was, I mean, Doge was just on a nice run there. And then it just sold off. And then the tariffs and the fear of tariffs like totally took over and ruined Dogecoin. And then we were on a nice run starting back up from June 2025 through September. Higher lows, higher highs, all that was happening 2025. And then we had October 10th and the big flash crash. And that was the end. That was the end of that cycle. So now I've got this little yellow box down here, and that's where I want to buy a crap ton of Doge. I'm being patient. I'm being patient and I'm waiting. We talked about the Doge 1 mission. It's not going to be till next year, if it happens at all. Again, I predict a green July, but then a red August. Yeah, what's Lab? I don't know, Rayon. I saw that there were a lot of shorts getting wiped out on Lab. I don't know. Lows at 6.9, maybe 6.7. But I think it will be hanging in the 7 to 8 for a while. Could be. What is Lab? What is Lab? Lab has been around since October 2025. It was trading way down at like 8 cents to 10 cents to 20 cent range until April this year. And now it's $15. What the hell? I don't know what this is. That's crazy. Woo. Big, big move. Early June went way up. I don't know what this is. But I know they took out a lot of shorts. A lot of people are shorting this thing. It should be the other way around. Dog with hat should stay at 17 and Doge goes to $4. I like that. Are we going to see Dogecoin below 7 cents again? I think so. Do I wait for Dogecoin to absolutely fall below 7 cents? No. By August, if it doesn't fall below 7 cents in July, I will be buying Doge in August in the low 7s. Just in case it never falls below 7 cents again. Because, again, as we talked about last week, there's a chance that was the bottom. There's a chance The bottom wasn't in, right? No, we talked about this. If you go to my channel here, and this the last live stream, did we just see the bottom? And that's what we talked about last week. Did we just see the bottom? And earlier in this live stream, we took a look at June's in the previous bear market, where cryptos like Ethereum, XRP, Litecoin all hit their bottoms in June 2022. And that was the bottom of that whole bear market, was in June. And it never went lower, where Bitcoin did eventually go lower. So we don't know. We don't know. But right now, yeah, I think we're going to hang out between 7 and 8 cents. Looks like we've got enough to stay up in the upper 7s right now. You're sticking to your strategy no matter how bad it gets. In the end, it's better to have coins in your wallet than not, if you're waiting for some magical price. Better to have the coins. Yeah, who bought at 7 cents? That was quick. Yeah, that was quick. Yeah, goes up and down with Bitcoin. So 6.7 was my prediction for the bottom of the bear market. That was my bear market bottom Dogecoin prediction. It was 6.7 cents. And so far, we've hit 6.95. We will see. Are we greedy? A lot of us are greedy, yes. And I do get greedy sometimes. I still do. It's a human reaction. Yeah. Bitcoin's run today, Mark, was strange. You would think the news of Saylor and Strategy selling so much Bitcoin would have tanked the Bitcoin price a lot more than it did. So I was surprised. Do I still have a magnet at 30 cents? I don't have any magnets in my Dogecoin chart right now. Next bull cycle, we'll play with magnets again. You want to see Doge at 20 cents? WIF up to 17. I don't care about WIF. If you hold some WIF, awesome. Good luck to you. I'm not buying WIF. We watched it last cycle, obviously. 2024, we were obviously watching it. I had forgot that it had gotten that high. WIF. $4. I had totally forgot that. Well, Tim, I don't think those old cryptos are ever going to die. They don't die. They still stick around. Look at all the worthless crap that's still traded today. That has no team behind it, no developers, no nothing, but people still trade it. So they'll be around. Hi, Duchess. How are you? We had so much fun. You can look on my X account, see my pics with my girlfriend. We had a lot of fun. It was so much fun. Something will be used for everyday transactions. Yeah, stable coins. Stable coins, Tim. We've been talking about that for a year. It's stable coins. No crypto, not even Dogecoin. Sorry, Dogecoin will always be a niche thing. It's stable coins. Yeah, leave the magnets put away for now. Yeah. Yes, DB, she does. And she doesn't like it that I'm as tan as I am. She thinks it's that bad for my skin. She's kind of right. So this might be as tan as I get. This might be as tan as I get. Because she's good. We need the Doge father. Who knows what he's going to do? Who knows? You're my reminder for the magnet come the next bull cycle. Okay, I'll count on you for that. Stable coins are only as good as the fiat they represent, and I wouldn't count on those. The American dollar backed digitally. I mean, that's what Trump saw in crypto. And that's what his advisors were telling him too, is we should do the Genius Act and the Clarity Act all for crypto as long as it's backed by the dollar. And so all stablecoin prices are in dollars. US government likes that. So I think they're going to stick around. Yep. She's a very wise woman. And she it's like one of the first things she said. It's like, you're too tan. You need to stay out of the sun so much. You need to wear more protection. It's like all that stuff. And I'm just, yeah. Oh. Campo, that wasn't pink. It wasn't pink. It's kind of that peach color. It's more of the peach color. That's a nice Florida summertime shirt. It was peach. We'll see. We'll see what people think. We'll see what people think. What do you guys think? Okay, so in the picture, it does look a little pink. I'll give you that. The picture lies, though. In real life, it's more peach than this. I swear, in real life, it's more peach. Oh, God. Salmon color. There you go. Salmon. Thank you, Mark. Yes, I'll go with salmon. I know it's not pink. Thank you, Campo. She's very good for me. I bet you're enjoying the heat. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Not Korean. Not Korean. Let's just say Asian. The whole kingdom will be yours. The rest of the world won't like it when we turn on the money printers. It'll eventually become too obvious that everyone can avoid fleecing from the USA by using a crypto instead. Man, But if the crypto continues to be priced versus US dollars, as opposed to being priced like on its own, then inflation doesn't happen. Inflation is whatever it is. They print more, it's like whatever. Thank you, Joanna. Yeah, that was the old word, Oriental. I don't think everybody uses that anymore. Thank you. Thank you, Will. Appreciate it. Mark, thanks to the Asian girls. Very nice. Yeah. I waited a little while before I actually started posting pictures of us together. Just to make sure. And then she's going to get mad. She's going to, what'd you post those for? I don't like you anymore. Now what's going off on the pinger? Still shorts. Bitcoin, ETH, still shorts. You ended up with a hot-headed Hispanic woman? No. No Latinos for me, Tim. Good luck. Good luck, my fine sir. But no, you approve? Thank you. Thank you, Capo. The pasta salad creation is in the bear market. Yes, lower fifth. That is correct. Pax Cat's back with my son up in Boston. But she likes cats too. Maybe we'll get a cat. I don't know. But we want to travel and do stuff and not be stuck with an animal we got to figure out what to do with. Thank you, Marmelo. Appreciate it. Handle what you can do. Looks like Dogecoin might go up a bit, but not to the 20-cent price. Well, I'll say that's true for this year and maybe next year. But by 2028, I think we're going to be higher. Dogecoin's going to go on a run. And you just have to be ready for that. It's a meme coin, and it's going to go on a run. We just don't know when. But you won't hear like $5 Doge here. I'm not talking that. That's just these guys who post those charts on X, those stupid fractals from 2021, when clearly in 2021, Dogecoin was so overhyped. The FOMO was so great, totally overbought, never should have been to those prices. And I don't think we're going to see that again. But that's just me. A new Pax Cat. We need a new Pax Cat. You guys need a new Pax Cat. Me, I'm like freedom to be able to just go for as long as I want to go somewhere. We used to have Asians on the tobacco farm. Good workers. Yep. Good workers. You could be the modern John Lennon, Yoko. Oh. That was a unique relationship that they had, that's for sure. A lot of people didn't understand it, but when you meet someone that you're like really in tune with and everything clicks, and it's nothing like it. We would love Peck's cat. It was a good cat. My last two girlfriends were Thai and Brazilian. Still like the Asian girls. Me too. Deep down, we hope those, if 2021, hey, if we can get those 2021 Dogecoin chart again, I'll take it. Absolutely. That was a crazy time. It was so crazy. Crypto was still pretty new to me when all that was going on, so I didn't quite, I was living it, obviously doing videos and live streams and all of that back then, but I didn't quite get the enormity of what was happening. And looking back at it now, it's like crazy. In my opinion, not just the same without the Peck's cat. Cats are independent. They'll manage. Neighbors can fill in. Thanks. Who knows? Maybe someday. She likes cats too. So, yeah. Yep. She likes cats too. So we went through Doge, we went through Bitcoin. Bitcoin's still looking strong. ETH, back up over 1,800. Our friend Weiju, probably not happy that Cardano had a big run here over the weekend. But it's falling off a bit. Still 18-cent Cardano. We looked at Litecoin from the summer of 2022. Solana's been trading very well lately, back up over $80, and it's holding $80 support now. XRP got dangerously close to $1 back here, but never fell below. Back this last week of June, never fell below. Now it's back up to $1.15. And I'm waiting for Crow token to take off. It got out of these depths. It never got below 5 cents, which is good. It's been hugging 6 cents here. Waiting for that. So that's kind of a brief, quick review of the crypto market. Let's see, aftermarket on stocks, anything happening? American Bitcoin. Oh, American Bitcoin had a big dip right into the end of the close. This is right after the stock split that it had. But it's trading back up. Aftermarket. MicroStrategy is going up aftermarket. Anything else aftermarket on stocks? Micron below 1,000 like Kriss predicted. What else? SpaceX had a run up in green into market close, and now it's falling back down. And that's about it on my watch list for stocks. Lauren Bennett passed away today. Lauren Bennett, an English singer. Lauren Bennett. The party rock anthem. One month before her L. Lauren Bennett. Sorry to hear. The people have spoken. The channel needs a cat. Ask 8Ball if you should get a cat. $1 XRP. That price was even lower than I predicted, Will. What was I down to? Like $1.05, and it would drop to $1.01. Good XRP price. My XRP is still 58-cent XRP that I bought back in 2023. So I don't think we're going to see that. I don't think we're going to see that price again. She was young. We won. Kriss needs a new PAC scan. I'll tell my girlfriend that you all said we need to get a cat. Oh, it's too soon for that. Too soon. Let's see if the two of us still get along for a while. Two. Yes. Anybody who's having issues with the live stream, just reload YouTube. Agreed. That happens. YouTube gets quirky sometimes. That does happen. Well, that's what I got for today, gang. Doge in the upper sevens still. So we'll continue to watch it up here. Upper sevens. I think it's going to stick around between 7 and 8 for a while. Bitcoin is at 64. Is it going to come back down and retest 60K? I don't know. Just a weird day in Bitcoin today, going up when the news was pretty negative. But there it is. That's what we got. So thank you everyone for tuning in. I'll be live again on Wednesday. Go USA, big soccer game, FIFA World Cup game tonight against Belgium. I'll be watching that. I hope everyone has a great rest of your Monday and Tuesday. We'll see you on Wednesday. That'll be next time.
Dogecoin, which started as a complete joke, has like skyrocketed to not a joke anymore. It hit an all-time high of almost 10 cents yesterday, but it was so minuscule you wouldn't have understood why you have millions of shares.
Didn't Elon tweet that too?
And arguably, the most entertaining outcome and the most ironic outcome would be that Dogecoin becomes the currency of Earth in the future.